EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cleveland Browns. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Cleveland. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. And again, it's Chubb. And he's going to have a Browns first down as he gets this up past the 30 to the 32.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They go with Chubb on second down. And some room to work. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the red zone now, Watson. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And this time he is in. Nick Chubb punching it in from a yard away. And the Browns will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. 18, in motion goes the tight end. They start on the ground here at Sanders. A nice little juke. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll go again with Sanders. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here we go. Stop.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they'd really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time? Let's keep doing it until they stop us. Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Going to be some contact going on.
Always got some breathing room. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, check that, check that.
Another run here with Sanders. And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27. Hurts sets up to throw it. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Taking it about the 16. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Cleveland offense ready to go. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression, he just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Yeah, he did not want to go down there as he carries tacklers for a solid gain of 9. They go up the middle with Chubb. Uses the stiff arm. And some room to run now. 214 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Chubb will get the call running left. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Browns would extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they were trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. I mean, what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, with not much time, we'll see how they play this. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this 3rd quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. But CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders, and it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
A big play that time out of Chubb, 42 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They run it again with Chubb. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he gets it down to the 32. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Kaiser White, the former safety, gets the sack. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Watson under pressure, and they got to him again. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, And it's third down. A give. This is Chubb. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up fourth down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, though it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Trap 60, trap 60. 60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat.
Hurts fumbles it. And this is picked up by the Browns. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Browns add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. Extra point by York is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away.
Ready, set.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Dragon 60. Go.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Panther 60, Panther 60. 18, Pioneer.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, down at the 31.
Seven Pirates.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Cut 19.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Hot 70.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Hurts. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Dixie Maverick.
Throwing is Hurts. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Cleveland offense ready to go. This has really just been a lopsided affair. What a performance they put on, and now they get the football back here with a big lead in the 4th quarter. Well, in the past, we might be discussing dinner plans, talking about steak and sushi, whatever the case is, CD. This ball game is pretty much well in the books.
Yeah, we really could have started bringing up dinner a long time ago if we wanted to, partner. And I think a few of the guys out in the field already making plans for the evening.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And he'll be tackled at about the 35.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he's going to have a Browns 1st down as good running gets him to about the 44. A pair of 1st downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. And again, it's Chubb. Uses the stiff arm. And some room to maneuver. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Extra point by York is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Second down, here's Chubb again. Gets through, and now an opening. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
On the jump.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the